Aside from telling which one, what kind, how many, what color, and what size, adjective can also be used in comparing persons, places, things, and abstractions. For example, one might say apple A is big, apple B is bigger than apple A, and apple C is the biggest of all. As you see, the adjective use changes when one compares two and when one compares three or more. Most adjective changes their form as they express degrees of comparison. The first is called positive degree, which is simply describing persons or things and there is no comparison being made. The second one is called comparative degree, which is used in comparing two persons or things. Most comparative degree adjectives are formed in one of two ways. The first is by adding an ER ending to the positive degree form, as in tall, taller. The second way is by adding less or more before the positive form. Adjectives with three or more syllables, beautiful for example, is almost always form their comparative degrees this way. Finally, the superlative degree. Superlative degree used when comparing three or more persons or things. The apple at their far right is the biggest of all three. Most superlative degree adjectives, as with comparative degree adjectives, are formed one of two possible ways. One is by adding an est ending, as in biggest. The other is by using the word least or most before the positive form, as in least industrious and most industrious. Least and most are normally used with adjective that has three or more syllables. Now, let's talk about what we call irregular adjectives. There are some adjectives that just don't follow the rules. Yes, it's quite true. And these are irregular adjectives because they form their comparative and superlative degree irregularly. Examples are many, more, most, little, less, least, bad, worse, worst, good, better, best, far, farther, farthest, up, upper, uppermost, late, latter, last. The only thing one can do is learn what are these irregulars are and memorize their comparative and superlative form. That way, they won't give you any trouble. Well now, does everyone understand what we mean by the degrees of comparison of adjectives? Good, because I prepare a short quiz to be certain that you do. Just fill in the table with the comparative and superlative degrees of these 5 adjectives. Well, there you are. The only tricky one here is perfect, cause if something is already perfect, it can't be made more perfect or most perfect. Adjectives such as perfect can't be compared because they already expressing absolute state or quality.